put you in the baseline.
Hello and welcome everyone, Tyrael here, and before I get started I just want to say I don't know if this is going to be a multi-part series or just a standalone video, so I'm going to leave the part 1 open, because I can think of at least 2 other things that I can talk about on this subject. And what am I talking about? I'm going to be talking about, for this episode and maybe future episodes if there are any, I'm going to be talking about problems with Clash of Clans that we can see in the future. Now, I'm sure Supercell has obviously thought of these because these are obvious problems if you're the developers of the game. Not so obvious if you're the players of the game. These are things you don't necessarily think about on a daily basis and sometimes don't ever think about. Now, what we're going to be talking about for this one, it happens in every game that keeps constant updates going, and that is squishing. Basically, what squishing is when you release an update, but the update, the numbers are too high, too far, there's a cap, whatever, something gets in your way, or it just becomes ridiculous to have those numbers, you take that and reduce all the previous things. Happens in a lot of games. And you can see it whenever we get a new, like, Archer Tower, or new Expo level, or Inferno Tower. When the previous one was max gold, or like 7 million, previous levels have their gold reduced, and they have their time to build reduced. Now, this is fine for now, it's working so far, but in the future we may run into some problems with that. So, mainly, the biggest problem is, if we keep doing that, the lower levels are going to eventually be reduced a lot. Since it trickles down, you reduce maybe the level below it or 2 levels below it, and you have to keep reducing and reducing. The more you reduce, the more levels you release, the more you reduce below it. And eventually, you know, I don't know, 5 years from now, Expo level 1 will cost 500k gold. I can see a sort of problem with that. Maybe as soon as you get Town Hall 9, give it a few days or a few weeks, probably a few weeks, you'll be fully maxed on your defenses because they'll all be so cheap because we'll be at like Town Hall 12, Town Hall 13. Because Supercell wants to keep the game going, they actually have what they call a 300-year plan. Personally, I find it completely ridiculous, but I love ambitious things like that. So, you know what? Power to them, but when we're at Town Hall level 200 and your Expo costs 20 gold, it's going to seem a little bit ridiculous. Because you're going to be downloading the game and you're going to be Town Hall 15 in 5 minutes then. But you know what? We'll all be robots by then, so it doesn't really matter. But for the foreseeable future, things will be reduced slightly. It's not going to be a huge deal. It's not going to be game-breaking. And why I'm saying things will be reduced and not they will increase the storage cap, because previously, and the only thing Supercell has said on this, it was probably about a year ago or something, so they may have changed their tune. Basically, they said they don't really want to add more storages or more storage levels, which I can see as a good thing, because say your storages now hold 16 million at the max Town Hall, say it's Town Hall 11 when that comes out in, I don't know, a few months, next year, something like that, in the next, I don't know, 10 months, 6 months, whatever, whenever Town Hall 11 comes out, that will be a problem because you know how it's getting harder and harder to farm gold the higher Town Hall level is? Now imagine farming twice as much for your upgrades, twice as much to fill your storages. And it's also, you know, 50% harder, so it's like you're farming 3 times as much to get 1 upgrade. Now they have said that they will never increase the upgrade time past 2 weeks. I don't know if they're going to keep with that, but let's go with that for now. They don't want the upgrade time to increase, so that will always definitely increase even if they go back and they say, you know what, we're going to add a new level of storage, we're going to add a new storage, whatever. So, even if they do that, we're still going to have reductions in time to the point where eventually with Town Hall 12, Town Hall 13, far in the future, we're going to be seeing Expos that take 2 days to build. Which is a little bit ridiculous. They're supposed to be strong, and they build so fast. You're going to have Archer Towers that take a day to build for a high-level Archer Tower. It's gonna get a little ridiculous. It's not going to happen for even a few years. But, I mean, you gotta plan for it, you gotta think about it. Because I'm probably still going to be playing then. Most of you probably won't. The honest truth of that, you probably won't be playing then. But some of you may still definitely be playing. Definitely some of you watching this now will still be playing then. And we'll have to go back and say, okay, so level 10 Archer Tower is now 1 million gold and takes 2.5 days, 3 days, whatever to build. It's a big reduction. But we now have Archer Tower level 16, so whatever. because they do plan to keep this game going for that long. And there's something that's been happening with the most recent Town Hall that will actually accelerate it, or at least accelerate it becoming apparent to everybody. It's that we've been recently getting 2 levels of certain things with each Town Hall, speaking of just Town Hall 10. But I can see it happening in the future, maybe even 3, because they're staying at Town Halls longer and longer and adding more stuff for that Town Hall. Like, we got 2 levels of Archer Tower, we got 2 levels of Cannon, we got 2 levels of P.E.K.K.A, and we're probably going to see 2 levels of other things like the Expo, because the Expo is still lagging behind. I can make an entire video on the Expo and how it only does 80 DPS while every other single target does 98 or 99 DPS, which is a huge, huge difference. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I can foresee us getting a level 5 Expo even before Town Hall 11. Doesn't mean we will, but I can conceive it. It's possible that we would get a level 5 Expo before then, just because the Expo is so weak compared to the other ones. I'm not going to go on about the Expo anymore, but this is going to keep increasing. We may even see, I don't know, at Town Hall 11, maybe we get 3 levels of defenses. It's going to get ridiculous at this point. I mean, I'm not sure how they can have a 300-year plan if that's going to be like Town Hall 40 and we get 12 upgrades per Town Hall level. This is an over-exaggeration, and I honestly don't think Clash of Clans can last that long, probably because of the eventual use of some other operating system besides iOS, which would require a huge move of all their servers to something else, which would be really expensive and really time-consuming. Yeah, but we're not going to even go into that now. That's another problem I can talk about, future integration, but I'm not going to get too deep into that right now. Right now, I just want to stick on the Squish, the constant Squish. Every update that we get, where we get something new, some new level, we've always seen a Squish. We saw it with the Expos, we saw it with the Archer Towers, we saw it with the... Did we see it with the Cannon? I don't know. I don't think we saw it with the Cannon, did we? I don't know if Cannon level 12 went down at all. Comment below to let me know if they did, but honestly, if we see a Cannon level 14, which I'm sure we will, they will have to reduce the price of the Cannon level 13 because it is 7.5 million, and once it reaches over 7 million, they will always reduce it. And this is going to be in the far future when this actually becomes a problem, so most of you probably don't even care. But it's something we need to think about, and probably the other things I can talk about in future videos like this will be more relevant to now, or at least soon. But for now, I'm just going to leave you guys with this everything I've just talked about. The fact that as we go farther into the game, and we upgrade more and more, higher and higher levels, and gain more per Town Hall, the more we'll see this Squish to the point where at lower levels, like Town Hall 9, Town Hall 10, it will get absolutely ridiculous. I know I'm calling Town Hall 10 a lower level, but when this happens, we'll have Town Hall 11 at least, so it will be a lower level. And I'm talking about Town Hall 11 now. I'm talking about all this because I really do believe Town Hall 11 is coming soon. I have no info on it. No one has told me anything of that sort, but every sign is sort of pointing towards it within the next 2 updates. So, I gotta kind of guess that it's coming, and I gotta sort of prepare for it, think about it, and that's what I've been doing, and that's what this is about. What will happen? Will we see, like, Archer Tower level 12 costing 5 million? Will everything just be reduced by 1 level worth of upgrade cost and upgrade time? Because they will not. They have said they will not go over 14 days for an upgrade. That's something they flat out said they won't do. But then again, they've said they're not going to do some things and then gone ahead and done those things about a year later. They changed their mind, decided it was in their best interest, and which is fine. If it is in the best interest of the game, that is perfectly alright. If they said they won't do it. Now, they said they won't do Mastermind's Quest, even though they said they like it, and I wish they would flip-flop back to that, but again, another video for another time. And I really think that we're going to see significant reductions over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and a lot of you will still be playing, or at least checking in by then. Some of you won't, that's fine, it happens, people quit games. Some of you will not be playing this game in 2 or 3 years, but if you are, you will see what I'm talking about. Things will continually be reduced. And we haven't seen it with spells yet, though. We haven't seen it with spells because spells don't cost enough yet. But eventually spells will hit that point where the upgrade cost of a spell will reduce and take less time. So we're going to be seeing that as well, too. Not just troops and buildings. Then again, with Town Hall 11, we're going to have more space for all this stuff. We damn well better, because we've got no space for our stuff right now. Look at this base right here. It goes from end to end. We've only got the corners left. When you're Town Hall 10 with everything, you only get the corners left. And that's just what I want to talk about for this video. I know it's something far in the future, and a lot of people aren't invested in it, and probably won't be here then, but I wanted to talk about it, because it is going to happen. It's already happening with every update that comes out, and it's going to get more and more apparent, and be higher and higher percentage, and really, it is something we need to think about, and I'm sure Supercell is thinking a lot about it. I mean, they're not open about anything, so we have absolutely zero idea what they're planning to do with it, whether they're planning to have level 11 Archer Towers eventually worth 2 million gold and upgrade in 3 days, or they're planning to do something completely different, like go back on what they said and add in an extra level of storages so we have to farm 3 times as long for all of our upgrades. Yeah. That doesn't sound too appealing to me, and I don't think it sounds too appealing to you to have to farm 16 million gold for your Archer Tower level 14. That really does not sound like fun, especially with maximum loot penalty. You'll be farming in Crystal with BAM and making like 400k an hour farming hardcore. That's absolutely ridiculous. Who wants to farm 400k an hour for an upgrade that'll probably cost like 15 million, 16 million? That's ridiculous, and I'm sure none of you want to do that. So, if Supercell is keeping that in mind, that means we're just gonna see this Squish just like I'm talking about, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger, blah blah blah, everything I've already said. So, we're just gonna end it out by this 3-star from 26 verse 26. A.K.A. versus George. And even pairing, 3-star. Good shit. Good stuff right there. Really good stuff. And there is one Tesla left, but he's got his queen protected by his king. He's got those coming through. 3-star air attack. I love it. Love 3-star air attacks. The best kind. And the Tesla is going out second to last. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this video was really long and really deep about a topic that doesn't even quite affect us yet. Not really. And I hope you guys have learned something from it, or at least can think a little bit more. And if you don't, that's fine. Do your thing. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Tyrael, out.